thank you everyone for joining us. My name is Jason Williams. I'm the Managing Director at the Society of Innovators at Purdue Northwest. This is our second session to come play and chat with Mindbenders Games in downtown Whiting. So Mindbenders Puzzles and Games, actually the Emerging Business of the Year, awarded by the ISBDC during the E-Day Awards last month. So it's an exciting opportunity not only to talk to a fun game shop, but a fun game shop that's definitely been doing some great business this year. So we're excited to feature a local business. But specifically tonight, we are here to talk about innovation and creativity and how we can use games and play to really help develop those skills, not only during the holidays here, but also beyond as we're looking at some last minute gifts maybe for family or friends or even the innovator in the mirror as far as yourself. So we certainly know that board games are a great way to spend time together as a family. There's been no shortage of that during quarantine in 2020. But board and card games are also key tools to help develop essential innovation-related skills such as creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, logic, and social skills. And board games have been a big market in recent years. In fact, some studies show that the market size for board games is expected to reach over $12 billion by 2023. So not only a timely gift here for the holidays, but certainly a gift that is on the rise. More people are playing games than ever before. So Joel, thank you for taking the time to rejoin us here for a second session. I guess we do have a few folks that are joining us that may not have watched our first session last week. If you could just please introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit more about the shop.
Sure, my name is Joel Bender. I'm owner of Mindbenders Puzzles and Games. Me and my wife opened up Mindbenders in 2016. We wanted to bring a little bit of fun back and that socialization back to your family, but we wanted to bring games in that use strictly brain power. So no computers, no cell phones, no iPads. Everything they use is just going to use your brain. So whether you're playing a family game, you get that socialization, but you're actually learning something during that family game. I remember playing hours and hours and hours upon with Monopoly, and that's how I learned to manage my money. And Risk, you learned about geography, you learned about where all the continents were, you learned about all the countries. So it's, when you're learning, when you're playing a game, you're actually learning something. So it kind of goes hand in hand. And we just tried bringing that back. We wanted to be unique, not to have the same thing the big box has. And one thing we do have that the big box doesn't have is the personal service. We want to get that right game into your hands. We want to make sure that the game you go home with is a game that you're going to play with your family. I mean, if you go online or go to the big box, you bring a game home and you say, oh, maybe my family's not into games. Well, maybe it's just the game you brought. I mean, if it's something that the whole family enjoys, I'm sure you're going to be bringing that thing out of your closet. It's probably not going to make it back in the closet with the quarantine. And you'll have some people have game wars. Who's the king of the games? We played 10 games. I won 3 or 5 of them. And it brings that socialization back. You're not on your cell phones. You're actually playing the game. So, and that's kind of what we wanted to bring back, and Whiting is a great walkability town, and it's just been a whirlwind for us. And like you said, we won Emerging Business of the Year, which we were surprised. We made it through the pandemic pretty good. Puzzles are pretty hot. And so we're, any family games, education, arts, crafts, science, everything that people were coming to us for, we were just trying to make things happen for, make people happy.
Great, fantastic. Thank you for that. And I know one thing you said, and really, I would say that one of the biggest benefits of businesses like yourself is that personal touch. And you talk about, really the concierge service that you provide. I know I visited with my family a couple of weeks ago, and really, I mean, you encouraged us to really, it's a hands-on store. So, I mean, we can learn about games, right? People can come in and really kind of get their hands on a game and test them out.
Sure. I mean, with the COVID, it's been a little bit different. We put away a lot of demos, but now I'm just bringing them out and we're sanitizing them before we put them away, or, if we don't bring them back out and, unless we get a chance to sanitize them or spray them down, because we are a touchy-feely store. We want you to get your hands dirty and get that mind going and try to problem solve. Because, like I said, if you enjoy the game and you think it's challenging enough, sometimes if the game's too easy, I might have to pull back and give you something harder. But if it's too hard, you go the opposite. It's too easy, make it a little bit easier. But we also try to encourage that, if the kid's flying through it, I will give them a harder game because, we feel as if it's too easy, they're not going to go back to it. It's going to go sit in the closet, go collect dust. And same thing if it's too hard, they're not going to want to play it. They're going to go So a lot of logic games we have, they start off easy to learn, easy to play, right from the beginning, getting into it, you start solving them. And as you start solving them, it takes a little bit longer and a little bit longer. And then when you get like to where I am, it's all right, wait a second. I got to walk away for a couple minutes because I'm just not thinking about this right. And I go walk away and I come back 10 minutes later and all right, now I got it. I can solve it.
Great. Perfect. Well, let's dive into some games. And I guess I will clarify. I know we said this second session is really focused on adult games, and really, I mean, you did emphasize correctly that this is a family-friendly store. So when we're talking about adult games, I guess for clarification purposes, we're not talking about mature content, party games. We're talking about just games that are a little more difficult or challenging when it comes to the logic and problem solving. Is that accurate?
That is totally true. I mean, it's we have something for every age. Whether you're an infant all the way to adult, like I said, it's all about finding the right game for the right person, and we want to challenge everybody. Technically, anything like 10 and 12 years old, if it says 10 and 12-year-old to adult, it's going to challenge you right off the bat, anyways. It's just what finds the right thing for you.
All right, perfect. So let's just dive right in, Joel, and see what kind of in the game lineup today.
Sure. When we left off, I showed you a couple coding games. This is my more adult coding game. It's called Hacker. So on Hacker, you have to code it. In order to code it, you have to find where to get out of it. You also have to find the virus. So you're going to have to, let's see how number one goes. So what number one goes, it's a grid. So it tells you to set it up. It tells you where to put everything. So it tells you where to put your spy, and then you have your files. And this is your exit. So your first thing is to grab your files and try to get here by coding it. So we look here and we see that there's 3 arrows. These are going to be arrows on here. I'm going to bring this one in now. There's arrows here. So you're going to have to code it. So what happens is when you code it, to do this correctly, so you're going to have to figure out which way the arrows move. So each time you put an arrow down, it's the hacker moving. So we're going to move over to here, and I'm going to try showing both of these at once. So what happens here is the hacker moves up 1. So he moves up, and we're going to put it in there. I'm going to put it the correct way. So this would be coded right. So I move up, I grab the package itself, or the files, and then I want to move over 1. So the arrow goes this way. So I go over 1. Now this tells me the little red spin. So if you see, there's lots of different things here. You spin the red one up, and the last code is 1 arrow over, and boom, you got to the bread basket, which means you got to the exit of the thing. Only thing is, this time you go back, and the next challenge is for you to hack it. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. 3 books here. You have to hack it. So now you have to figure out how to get to your virus. So using the same codes, how could you make it to the virus? Well, the correct way to do this one would be to go up 1. So I go up 1. But this time, I'm going to put the twist on number 2. So I twist, and I go, oh, the arrow's the wrong way. And I move twice, 1, 2, and I hit the virus. So I know where that virus is at. So this time we see if I hacked it the right way. So the first one I coded, and it looks like I hacked it the right way. Now we have to fix it because we can't have the hacker being able to get to the virus. We don't want to be that virus. So we have to put an alarm in. So somewhere we start the hacker back where the cyborg where he is. Somehow we have to put the alarm system in there, and I'm going to tell you it goes there because I played this one before. So it's the same way. So if I go to use the virus, so if I follow this one, so I go up, I twist, and I hit the alarm before I get to there. So I know if I hit the alarm, it is definitely the right spot. But you have to go back in order to code it again. So you go back to where it was coded, or back here where it says here. So now let's see if I can still do that. So I go up, I twist, I go up, Nope, I did it wrong. So I would go up and over twist, and I make it to the bread box. So I could still code it. I'm not hitting the alarm when I hit the virus. So I see if I put the fix, and I see I put the alarm in the right spot. So that was number one. So each one is different. So the second time, now you go to challenge, the next challenge, which would be, now you're twisting the orange one, you're twisting the purple, but it has two other arrows. This game starts off real, easy. It's hard to explain, but it's easy to solve at first. There's 120 different scenarios on this. Each challenge is 3. Solve it, find the virus, and put an alarm so you can't hit the virus. This game, by the time I got to number 40, I was like, wait a second. I was really double thinking and triple thinking. And this is one of the ones I actually had to put away and come back to figure out. So I love this game. It's called Hacker. It's from Think Fun. Think Fun makes great thinking games. And I just love the aspect of these things, how they all twist and move. When you're making the twists, it's just a whole board. I've never seen a board move like this, where the 4 middle pieces can move. And it's just great. It's great put together. Think Fun, like I said, they make great games, and this is really fun. And this is called Hacker. And it says 10 and up, but I'm more 12, 15-year-olds on that one.
Minimum age. And Joel played that upside down. So.
Did I play upside down? Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, thank you for that. And I guess just one question, Joel. We looked at some kind of coding based games for children. This one is for a little more difficult. So for those teens and up to adults. Have you had feedback? Are people coming in and looking for these coding games? What's the feedback been? I guess as far as the demand.
All the time, people call me and they want to learn coding. Hey, you know what? I want to get my kids off the computer, but I want them to know coding and stuff like that. And like I said, our first game is 5 and up. It's color code, and you're just it's just trying to figure out layering things to figure out and solve the problem. Each coding game gets a little bit harder and a little bit harder. And that's what's great about it. You're without using a computer, you're actually figuring out how to code.
Perfect. All right. What do you have next?
I'm going to do this one. Do we have many people on there right now?
We do. We've got, 4. We got about 5 folks on here right now. So
that's 5 folks out there. I don't know if they can talk to you or not talk to you. But this game is a nice family, I'm going to say a party game, because you can have as many people as you want to play. This one's called Concept. So Concept has a bunch of just different categories and things like that. It says person play, there's cars, there's tools, there's costumes. So what happens on this game is you lay down. So my concept is, and I'm gonna go easy on this one, and I'm gonna get my card here, and I'm gonna do okay. My first concept is going to be, and we look at the thing here. It'll be here. So this is a recreation, sport, or activity. So I put my concept there. So we know it's a recreation concept or activity. So then using green, because I'm connecting with that, I put down there's boats. So it says watercraft, maritime, or swimming. And then I'm going to put a smiley face because it makes me happy, but actually it means joyous or positive. Then I'm going to put one on the sun, and I'm going to put one on water, and then I'm going to put one on this light yellow color. And I'm going to see if you can guess right now what that is without going any further.
Okay.
So,
sideways.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We'll turn.
I'm going to go sideways, so my camera skills are much more. So Joel has this little sheet here, and it tells you what this means. This little symbol.
Recreation, sports, or activity. And then here it says maritime, boats, watercraft. This is smiley face, which is a joyous positive. Think of the sun, think of water, and yellow. Any guesses? You can guess on this one, Jason, and then I have another one I can do for the audience if they want to guess, if they can't guess this one.
Where is the sun? Here we go.
This is the sun.
So you're trying to think of, is it a single word, Joel?
It's a single word.
And then this is a color, and that is yellow.
Yeah. Oh, yeller.
Okay. So I've unmuted everyone that I could. Are there any guesses? So we're trying to guess what is an activity, right? Or I guess it's a sport or a leisure activity.
A recreation.
Yep.
Give the hints again.
Give the hints again. So it's a recreate. I'm going to go back to that. I have to read it. Recreation, sport, or activity. There is boats, maritime, and swim. This is joyous or positive. This is sunshine or sun, or which on that one is sun, heat, light, daytime. But this is also water, and then old yeller. There's a lot of yellow.
Yeah, I don't know about the yellow. I'll throw out a guess because I know there's a comedian that has a bit about wave runners and how happy people are riding wave runners. So I was going to guess riding a wave runner.
Close.
I have no idea what the yellow is in there.
Where would you park your wave runner if you're sitting somewhere resting?
A banana
It's a
boat?
single word.
A
What'd you
banana
say?
boat?
Not a
Banana
banana.
Oh, so good. Such a good guess.
Close.
Yeah, do they still make that big banana tow behind for boats?
They
People
do. We
do
were
that?
just on vacation. They were taking us on rides on
We
them.
were
That
on
is a
vacation
great
in February
guess.
and they had banana boats.
So this is a little bit harder. So I'm going to go with a little easier one, the next one. But this would be the beach.
All right.
Trying to get you to
sand.
say yellow sand.
So these little hints that you see where you're putting your cue, it'll show you on the little concept card, like that, the little boat symbol. If you put your item next to the boat symbol, that means, and I'm trying to find it here, that means like watercraft, maritime, swim. That's where we're using our clue card. So these clue cards are there to pass around.
All right. So I'm going to try this one. Now, this is, if someone can guess this, I will give them a $20 gift card to Mindbenders. Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
So the
gentlemen,
concept-
set the crowd.
So the concept I'm going to say is, if this one starts off, I'm going to have to get this because I don't know them all by heart, is a woman, wife, or feminine. Okay. And then this one says she's fictional, imaginary, or a wish. And this last one says evil, death, or disease. So that's one part of the concept. The second part of the concept I'm going to give you, this clothing or costume is here. And I'm going to add to the clothing or costume and tell you that it is black.
So it's like
Okay.
2 words.
So it's like two words, but it's that's the second part to help you think. And I can give you a third part if I have to. I would say, think of an animal, a small animal, and
That means small.
it's a small. Think of a small animal as a part of it.
So the first part again, just to recap, is
female, fictional character, evil, clothing or costume is black, and it's think of small animal for this a backup clue.
Any guesses on that?
Any guesses on that one?
Little
Who could that
Mermaid?
be?
Which one?
Little Mermaid?
Not Little Mermaid.
Ooh. That's a good guess
That's it.
because
That
there's
is a
that
really
one
good guess.
evil character in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
We're thinking about evil character for a woman, evil character woman that wears all black.
No guess. No other guesses.
Yeah, are there any other
How about
guesses
you?
on the line?
Going once,
I'm,
going twice. Jason, you want to guess?
I was you had me going down towards like a witch's hat, but Black Widow was the only one I could think of. I know you said small animal.
So,
Oh,
someone say
You got a
something?
guess, Donna?
No,
I lost
your
what she
area,
said.
Black Widow spider or something,
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I can give you another clue here. There is a movie about her. Not that the Black Widow spider is not. And
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty
Ooh.
Evil. Thank you.
She's a sweet character.
Mhm.
You're a good guesser, though.
Yeah, Maleficent or so. What's the name?
Maleficent. Something like that. Yeah. No. Well, we're just gonna tell you what it is. Catwoman.
I
Uh,
don't think of cats as
Yeah,
being
it sounded
evil.
Black Cat, but that I couldn't come up with a character.
Her
Wah, wah,
costume
wah.
was black, is what I was trying to get
All right.
to.
Well, clearly this is a good, challenging game.
It is a great challenging game. It takes a little while to get to know the board, to know that what you're you're really looking at. I mean, it's easier if you're looking at the board and putting it all together. Oh, female, and it's a little bit easier like that. But it is tough to try to figure something out like that.
some of the phrases are really intense.
So on the thing, there's points. So you'll get different points for different. The harder it is, so you'll get to look at it and say, okay, I'm going to do this one. Okay, it's only worth 3 points or only 2 points. Again, I was trying to go a little bit harder than.
Okay, so I guess question then: are you the one choosing the categories you put clues on?
Sure, I'm the one. So my team, I take it out and I put all the things on the board, and then everybody else, all the other teams. So you could get 5 on a team, 6 on a team. All those teams are trying to collaborate together to be the first one to come up with the concept of which one it is.
Right, but the card did not tell you put it on
No
black or put it on.
You have to come up with that on
Oh,
your own. That's
okay.
Yeah, so it's almost like
taking me a couple extra
Pictionary or
seconds to think
charades.
about it.
Yeah. All right,
And
cool.
there are some intense phrases in this game. Like those were easier.
Right.
Some are full phrases where you have to do like concept 1 is the first part, concept 2 is the second part, and you have to be creative and put it on your clues.
And you got to know your who you're trying to guess. If you're Ben-Hur was a religious movie, and people are like, oh, wait a second, trying to figure it out.
Right.
How do you do Ben-Hur? You do the thing. I was figuring out the chariot is one concept, concept, and you're trying to do other things, but it works out really well. But
yeah, no, that's a good one. I can tell you, I was familiar with it. I had never seen how it was played. If you go, Google best games for creativity or best games for innovation, this game does show up on some of those lists. That concept game. So
yeah, it got great reviews. Maybe I'm not explaining it well.
Right.
It is a tough game to explain, but once you get playing it, like I said, I found out when you play it, if you pass out a couple cards ahead of time, people start thinking ahead of time where they're going to be placing down all the pieces to help you out with that.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you. And thanks for playing along, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, good guesses.
Maybe we'll try something a little bit later. We'll try,
All right.
when a little bit, something real easy to
Cool.
get that card.
Yeah. What do we got next then, Joel?
So this is called Tumble Maze. This is another one with 40 challenges. Kind of, when you didn't grow up and you still like the marble runs, but you really want to keep thinking. So this one is set up. It's got 3 marbles on top. And what happens is when you release the marbles, you're trying to get all 3 marbles to end up in this, or 2 marbles to end up in that spot. Since there's 2 on there. Oh, I can get my hands in there.
Where the arrow is.
Where the arrow is, you try to get the 2 marbles to fit there. So what happens is, it tells you where to put all the pieces. You insert the card, and I already had it all set up, so you don't have to worry about any of that. If I can see you, I'm a little blind today. So what happens is you set all the pieces up, and it tells you to add a green and a yellow. So what happens is you're going to start putting the green and yellow pieces in places just to try to figure out where those marbles might drop. Let's see if this works. No, so that was not correct. So what happens is you're going to have to keep working around it, trying to figure out how to get those 2 pieces to go in. And I'm just guessing here. No. Here. see upside down.
See if Joel can be an engineer.
Let's see if I can be an engineer, and we're off. Woohoo! I did it. Again, 40 challenges. I did play with this one for a little bit because this is challenge number 17. Sometimes the marbles will be set up inside. This one will be here already, and it's going to have to bounce. Another marble's going to have to come, bounce that one out, and then end up on somewhere else and get into another hole. So sometimes you're filling up all 3 holes. Sometimes you're filling out 2 in this one, 3 in that one, 1 in that one. It's just amazing game. It's, you know, it's a blue-orange game. I'm sure you heard me talk about blue-orange games before. Again, it's a logic thinking game. It's the first one they came out with. It's a marble run, but it's a little easy, you know, it's easy to set up because of the picture. Just follow the picture, and just to make sure you're correct, you can flip the piece upside down. You slide it in, and see if you were correct. And I wasn't correct. This one goes this way.
And it worked.
But it worked somehow. I think I put it in wrong. I can't see. I'm blind. There it is.
Joel had his eyes dilated at the eye doctor today.
Yes. So nothing's really seeing right correctly.
So it's kind of like an adult kid play on pinball, but you're having to engineer components of the machine in order to make it work and function properly.
Right. And it's just adding all the pieces, getting it all set up correctly. I didn't look at the answer. It took me a while to figure this one out before I actually got it. And it's called Tumble Maze. Again, a great game from Blue Orange. 40 challenges. But this one gets really challenging really fast. By the time you get to number 4 or number 5, you're really sitting there concentrating and trying to figure out where are these 2 pieces going there. So like I said, great game, nice logic thinking game.
Yeah, perfect. And I think, I've noticed that even before some of these games, there's so many of these apps and these puzzle apps that we just, glue ourselves to, but this is similar, but it gets us off our phone and hands-on and, similar concept with the logic game.
Yep.
So this one.
What is this one called?
This one's called Chroma Cube. It's the color cube game.
Okay.
So what happens is it tells you, I'm going to set it up real fast because it fell over on me. So this is a logic thinking game. So in a logic thinking game, this one is a deductive reasoning. So what happens is you set it up with the cubes in the card, tells you where to put the cubes, and then on the bottom, it's comprehension. You're going to read the card, and actually, I don't have my glasses. You're going to read the card, and it's going to say, white isn't in a corner space, but mustard is. So a corner space could be here, here, or here. So where the white cube is. I lost the white cube somewhere. Oh, here it is. So we know white got to be here or here, those 3 spots, and mustard's got to be in one of the corners. So then it says coral is the furthest different distance from emerald, which sits next to teal. So you look where coral is, and it's the furthest from it, and it's from distance, and it sits next to teal. So if coral has got the furthest spot is, and I need a cheat sheet to see where all the colors are. So coral would be this one, right? No,
this one.
Sits from coral. I'm obviously trying to figure this out.
There's a cheat sheet so you can see.
So emerald is emerald's this color right here, green.
Coral.
So the furthest spot got to be there, which is next to teal, which probably be here. White has got to be here or here. Mustard's in one of the corners. So going back to it, purple is in the same column as mint, which is in the same row as orange. So purple is in the same column. Where's purple? Is in the same column as mint, which would probably be this one, which is not next to teal. So here, and then mustard would be in that corner, and voila, and you flip it over, and I see I'm wrong.
Let's check Joel's work. Very wrong.
Yeah.
But he's also playing upside down and he can't see.
And I can't
But this
read
is total comprehension.
So,
So
yeah.
even people will come in and look for games to help their parents, or people retired, they want to keep the brain active and going, and so this is complete comprehension.
Right, you're reading next to column, row, negative. It gives you negative clues in this. This one has 25 puzzles. It's great. It's great to keep both sides of the brain going. It's a little more mature. It's wood. It's nice. It sits on your coffee table nice. Like I said, nice playing game. Chroma Cube. 40 challenges. I have to use the cheat sheet on it to know all my colors because, I don't know if I just don't know all my colors or I didn't have a crayon box with more than 8 crayons. But again, great game. All the cards fit inside and it's ready to go. It's ready to play. Number. Any questions on that one?
Perfect.
So I'm gonna do what? I'm gonna do another family game, and then I'm gonna keep mixing it up. Family game, logic puzzle, family game. All right, let's try this one. So this one's called Just One. So just one means there is only one answer. It's one word answer. So I get you get your card, and there's got 5 answers on there. So everybody puts on their piece of their little slot. They write on there with a pen something that will get to help you guess what the answer is. So this is the first one, and I'm going to say 2 people did the same word. So we flip over these 2, and then you're going to have to guess what word that I am trying to get you to say. I don't know if you can see them all. Can you see all the words, all 4 of them? Any guesses? One word.
Just one.
Just one. Jason, you got a guess?
I'll see a few others on here. I can.
Casino?
We have casino as a guess.
Casino was the guess, and the casino would be correct. So let's do one more. And I pre-writ these up, ahead of time. This one's going to be for the $20 gift card. And if no one guesses it, I'll give the little girl the gift card, okay? So, all right. So everybody writes down on their piece of paper. And this time, oh no, 3 people said the same word. So it's going to make it tougher. And let's see if you can figure it out. Here are the 3 words you are left with. So it's a cooperation game that everybody's writing down the word to try to figure out which one it is. All right. I got a $20 gift card. Someone's name on it. Bingo.
Elvis. Yeah.
Good job.
She's good at this game.
Very
And
good.
as you see, so everybody gets that word. You can see that one. Everybody gets the card and they look at it, and everybody, except for the person that's guessing, they'll say, all right, let's do number 3. So everybody gets their slate and they write on there, okay, I'm going to write this down. I'm going to write this. They don't talk to each other. But once they put it on there, so if 2 people wrote hound dog is not in there. And now you only get 2 guesses. Same thing with the one when I had casino. Everybody looked at the card and said, all right, which one are we doing? All right, let's do number 3, lucky 3.
Not to mention, everybody around the table is staring at you with pressure so that you guess the right word.
So, all right, how are we going to give you the gift card? We'll have to figure that part out.
Well, she's a visitor. She's a good little customer.
Oh, is
so
she?
we'll see her in here.
All right.
She comes to all of our events.
You know me, I don't have my glasses, so I really can't see that. And not most of the time people are wearing their masks.
Good job.
So let's do one more logic game. This is a logic thinking game. So kids, don't grow out of the Dungeons and Dragons. People love the Dungeons and Dragons. Come and ask me all the time. You think it's just kids? Nope, it is very much an adult thing. So on this one is a logic thinking game. So this one's called Walls and Warriors because you have all your warriors and now you have 3 walls to put on there. So it tells you how to set it up, and I set it up preempted before everybody got here. So I set it up the way the number 13 says. So what happens on this one is you have to keep your blue warriors and your red warriors separate. they're very not nice to each other, so they don't play very well. So what happens is you have to figure out how to put walls up to get the red warriors to sit on the outside while the blue warriors are protected in the inside. This is a nice try, but your castle's ungone, and this blue warrior is not protected. The correct way to do this one, I'm going to try it again. You know, I hate failing at these things. Let's try this. Let's try that. I don't remember how I did this. I did work on it earlier. So let's try here. Let's try here. And let's try here. But eventually, you get the concept of it, trying to box it all in. Again, 80 challenges, starts off real hard. I mean, I can figure it out. Trust me, it doesn't take me that long, but it does today. I'm having a little trouble. Man, I'm so close. That would work, but it's not getting in there, so it's not working. But you see the concept on it. It starts off real easy. Sometimes you only got to get one red warrior on the outside. Sometimes it's just getting one blue warrior on the inside. By the time you get finished, it's going to tell you, I'm not giving you any walls. The castle's here, and now figure it out. You have to, now you're really in there, and you're like, okay, trying to connect all the walls. So all the walls got to be connected all the way around. And eventually, you probably throw the game like I did. No, it's one of the ones I actually had to walk back to. Younger kids solve it a little bit faster than I do. I don't know if they have that spatial on there, but it's like I said, it's a great game. So
Adults love those brain
adults
games.
love it. So
And you said Walls and Warriors, right?
Walls and Warriors.
And that's a smart game.
This one now, I love, if you love the game of chess, this one's a great abstract game. So this game is played like Connect 4, but different. So on this one, and the way I love this is a double thinking game. So if you're a deep thinker, this might be something, a game for you. So what happens on this game is Connect 4. Connect 4 means 1, 2, 3, 4 on an angle, 1, 2, 3, 4 straight. But the only thing is, Connect 4 can be all tall. Connect 4 can mean all hollow on top, all square, all brown, all tan, all tall, all flat on top. Any combination is a win. I put that down. I say they're all square. I win. Here's the kick to it. Not only do you have to think about where you're putting the piece down, but your opponent hands you the piece. So Amy hands me this piece and I put it down. I give her a piece to play and she puts it down. The thing is, she has to give me the next piece. Never want to give your opponent a winning piece, because if someone gives you that piece, I go 4 across, all square. So it's double thinking. So now you're thinking, okay, what can I give you that you're not going to win? Also, where can I put this so I can give you a piece that you can't win? Because once the board starts filling up, there's more possibilities of getting that Connect 4, and eventually you're going to miss out on it. And I got all round, all square, all hollow. This game has great replayabilities. Try to think that you have a strategic way of winning it blow it all out the door, because the game will change it up. And this game changes it up. So after you get used to playing it like that, how about a 4 square? Instead of 4 in a row, I got 4 square. These 4 are short. These 4 are tall. So it's another twist on the game. I love games with replayability, and this one definitely has it. And it's nice wood, nice to sit on your, dining room table and say, challenge the wife and say, okay, who's doing dishes, who's cooking, all that stuff is.
Yeah. And what was the name of that one again?
That one's called Quarto. It's made
Quarto
German
with a
made.
Q?
Yep.
Okay. And then just real quick, you referenced that it was, kind of part chess. Just to address that, I know when we've chatted, before these sessions, right, the popularity of Queen's Gambit right now, you're getting a lot of inquiries about the game of chess. Just talk to that a little bit. And I know you also have some games that are kind of solo chess games that can help people who are looking to improve their chess skills.
Sure. So we have a couple different things that, we have a beginner's chess that tells you all the moves on the outside, but we also have a thing called solitaire chess. Solitaire chess is 80 chess, 80 puzzles like the logic games I was showing. But it starts off easy. It gives you 3 pieces on board. So what happens on the solitaire chess is you have to eliminate a piece every time you move. You know, the popularity of chess, I mean, for some reason the schools are real popular with it. The chess clubs are 5 years old. You know, some of these 6-year-olds come in here and they want to challenge me in a game, and I bring them back to the abstract games that I know a little better. But that's the thing. You know, people that like chess games, they, you know, if someone's beating you in chess all the time, you're not going to want to play them. If you're always beating someone, you know, it's not as fun. That's why solitaire chess, it challenges yourself. There's 80 challenges. Once you get past number 20 or 19, which is why I started having trouble, it's just a great learning tool because you're thinking 4, 5, 6 moves ahead to try to solve it. It doesn't teach you a strategy, but it does teach you to start thinking outside the box and how to make your pieces move up. And then with the popularity of the chess movie, our chess boards are doing really well. I think I only have one magnetic chess board left, sorry to say. Even the popular, you know, the more expensive ones are doing very well. It's just, you know, that abstract game that they're thinking, you know, you got the mind going and, you know, problem solving. Again, you know, when you're playing chess, you're thinking 2, 3, 4 moves out ahead. So, you know, I've always loved chess, and it seems like the new abstract games I'm just loving just as much too.
Perfect. No, thanks, Joel. And so, yeah, let's move on. I know we've got about 15 minutes left. So let's say 2 more games, then we can kind of leave some room for some Q&A here.
Sure. Well, let's do, okay. I'm going to do one more game, and then I'm going to go through a puzzle thing real fast, okay? So I'm going to fly through this one. This is King Domino. King Domino was a game of the year for 2017. Another blue-orange game. They started getting into the gamers games a few years back. What happens on King Domino is everybody has their own castle. So you get a castle, and what happens is you're going to be getting tiles. Like dominoes, you are going to get one tile at a time, and you're going to connect from your castle. You can only connect one land, one flavor land. But it doesn't have to be a total connect when you connect to your land. So I can connect one, as long as one of them matches, you can add each time. So what happens is you're going to make a 5x5 grid around your castle eventually. And when you do, you'll see little king's heads on there, or king crowns. So when you add a king's crown, so if I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow pieces and 2 crowns, this land right here is going to be worth 10 points at the end of the game. So what you're trying to do is add the most sand, the most forest, the most water you can. But when you do, you're going to be adding crowns. Now, I guarantee if you have something with 2 crowns on it, and that's a good card to have. The way the pieces are picked is the best land this time. You put your meeple on there, and you're guessing which one you want. This one guesses there, there, and there. So this one's the best land. So the next time this one guy goes, he's going to get the choice of having the next best land. So if there's 4 lands here again, and you look at the numbers on them, it tells you 29, 28, 3 and 5. So these are going to be the worst lands, and these are going to be the best lands. So now this person adds his to here. Well, he can only add here because he can't add no new land. But he's going to look ahead and say, okay, what can I use? All right, I can use the water. So he picks this one. This person is going to pick, okay, I'm going to get this crown here, and they're going to add to theirs. Eventually, you're going to keep adding land to yours. And if I'm talking fast, I'm sorry.
Whenever you add land, you can only connect.
Right.
Something of the same has to touch.
Right. So you're going to end up with a 5x5 grid like this. And then you're going to add up all your points. So that one was worth 10. That one's worth 4. That's only worth 1. That's worth 3. That's only worth 1. So you got 26 points. You play 3 rounds, you add your points together, and it's basically a great game. If you're playing, it's played with 4 people. You can play with 2 people. When you play by 2, you can actually add to be a 7x7 land. Okay.
So like on this one, you can see a crown and it's forest. So any forest square that is touching together, you multiply by how many crowns are in that type of land touching. So if 1 crown times 3, that's worth 3 points. So if you have 2 crowns touching 6 of the same square, then that's 12 points. So you're doing a lot of multiplication and adding of points.
Right. Great game. You know, people grew up on dominoes. Again, you know, the king aspect to it, you know, makes it a little more fun. You know, you're trying to be the king of the castle, and it's just a real fun game. And that's another one by Blue Orange.
Okay,
So instead of going, I'm going to do just a quick, fast-paced puzzles real quick. I also have, if you like to get the brain teasers, these are hamayamas, if I'm saying it right. These are puzzles, are heavy metal. So what happens on the heavy metal, try to get them apart and figure out how to get them apart. This one comes apart in 4 pieces, which is, you know, my wife was a little mad at me one day. Oh, she's watching something and all she hears is click. Are you going to be playing with that all night? No, just until I get it apart. And then you get it apart, and guess what? It's a whole other puzzle trying to get it back together. So there's just different ways of playing, and they're heavy. They kind of remind me of the nail or the horseshoe you had when you're, you know, growing up. These are a lot more difficult on that one. Going back into puzzles, Christmas time, if everybody wants puzzle boxes, these are real popular with the kids. So this one is a money box. Somehow you put the money in there, and somehow you have to figure out how to get it out of there. It does come with instructions to put it in there. I usually mail the instructions to them on their birthday. So if, you know, if they get a gift card or something like that, at least they can get it to them on their birthday. Same thing with this one, is a money box. Another secret way of doing it, just a different way. It's called Cash Dash. Love it, love it, love it. A couple quick things. You know, models were real popular during the pandemic. They're kind of like a puzzle, kind of old school. You're putting them together. This one comes with the glue, the paint, everything, the details, stickers, and everything. You know, something to keep the mind going. You know, you have to be able to put it together, and you're going to make it look just like this. Now, I brought this one up because where I'm going with this is now these are more mature. These are recommended for 15 and up. So these are gears. These are mechanisms where one thing's turning this way, the other thing's turning the other way. So you're going to have to figure out, this is a 20-minute timer. So on this one, it goes back and forth, and the gears are ticking, and there's a timer. You wind it up with rubber bands, and it will tick one at a time till you get 20 seconds or 20-minute timer. Love this one. And then this one, very popular, is the car. So the car, when you put it together, as you see, it's got little shocks. And if you look, and there's little pistons. Every time the car moves, each piston works with the gears to make each stroke of that engine. It's phenomenal the way this thing's together. Very mature. It's a few hour put together. You do have to have patience. You do have to have time. But, you know, if you grew up on the models, you know, this is something your grandma, your grandpa, not your grandma, but grandpa would love to do, you know, something around. This one's the train. Everything is intricate. Every one of the gears on the wheels, they all turn together. It's a steam locomotive. You know, it doesn't run on steam, but it's a steam locomotive on that. Last but one least, I don't know if we have that. We're gonna leave the last 10 minutes. So just real quick is my wooden Tetris game. Starts off with 3 pieces. This one has 500 puzzles. Great one to leave on your coffee table. Somehow you get these 3 pieces to fit in there flat. You move it over, add a piece, and start all over again. Somehow you're going to take those same pieces and fit it in there like that. But basically, you know, that's one of the things like that. One last thing on the metal puzzles. This one is metal earth. So what happens is it starts off a flat piece of metal, boom, boom, and turns into 3D, no glue. It's the same with the wood, no glue. This is all bending the metal, recommended for 15 to an adult. It does take a couple hours to put together, time, patience, good eyesight. They'll definitely do it. And we got planes, we got buildings. If you're still a Star Wars fan like I am, you know, you got the Millennium Falcon, the TIE Fighter. So things like that. It's just things you're using to work. You work both sides of your brain just to keep everything going. in this time where you're staying home and you're looking to be entertained, why not entertain yourself with a little puzzle or, model.
Yeah,
And I think we
fantastic.
can
Thanks for that. Kind of rapid finale there. I love it. A lot of
I
good
try to get
stuff.
everything in
I'm
there.
gonna put you on the spot real quick to officially close out one more game. I mean, just in the whole store, right? We're talking about logic, and you showed a good mix of kind of solo activities and group games. But if right now, what if someone came in and said, I want a really good kind of logic game to play with some friends, kind of a party game, if you will. What's going to be a go-to that's something you haven't shown us yet?
Well, let's say you come into my store and you want a game. First thing I'm going to say is, how many people are playing your game?
We're going to have 5 people over, Joel.
5 people over. What's the youngest person playing?
27.
27. I would probably go with, and I know you bought this game, Blank Slate. Blank Slate is a great game. What happens on Blank Slate is everybody has a slate. It's up to 8 people, but don't stop playing with 8 people. You can play with 16 or 20. Sometimes we never get a match with 16 or 20 people. What happens is, you write down a word. So it says blank house. So everybody writes down, all right, I'm going to write this down. So everybody writes down an answer. So if me and you match, we get 3 points. If 3 people match, we get only 1 point. If nobody matches, you get a big goose egg. And it's the first one to 25 points. This is a game that I'm never going to win because I think I have to go for the funny answer every time because I need to get the laugh. I think I have more fun coming up with the fun answers than I do, and I always get the dirty look from my wife. I'm like, yeah, she's like, you should have had that one. I'm like, oh, well, But it's one of my great, it's a great party game. Sit around a campfire, sit around the couches. You don't actually have to sit at a table. And, people that don't want to play games, this one's easy to talk them into playing.
Yeah, no, perfect. Yeah, and we've had fun with it. And I can tell you, we've had even the 7-year-old holds her own against mom and dad and the 18-year-olds. So that's a good one.
Yeah, it's all about the age, trying to get the right age in there. If you get something too young, it's hard. It's hard to get a 4-year-old to play a game with a 34-year-old because of there's no reading and there's no counting, adding and stuff like that. So
for sure.
We do have a couple games that everybody can play, but it's just a matter of what what your preference is and what your family likes doing.
Thank you again, Joel and Amy. Appreciate it. And good luck the rest of the holiday season. It's great to hear that you're getting a lot of good traffic in the store. And we hopefully we'll get some more folks in there. But appreciate you taking the time to show us quite a few games here tonight.